I'll start the stream. I'll see how it goes. I'll start the stream. But if it goes off again, then get Evan in.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll have to be a new stream. Oh, wait.
Oh no, I think we're back. Yeah, I think we're on. Yeah, I think we're on. Oh, goodness me. Welcome back, everyone. I did warn you that my internet could die, and that's exactly what it's just done. But we are back. I've stayed within the lobby, so I'm literally up to speed in terms of what's going on here in qualifying. Savdo on top, Legend in second, Ray there in third. At the early stages of Q1, Dan Screen and my Cave Sam haven't got lap times on the board. Callum, you're probably more versed than me, I think, within Q1 at this stage. Savdo on top, Legend second, Ray in third. The PS boys certainly up there early on.
Yeah, certainly are. I've done a great job just getting a lap time in and didn't have to go out for a second run. McCabe Sammy's letting the VSR boys down at the moment. He's going out once again. He's got one lap to try and salvage a little bit from this session. Currently down in P18, the same with Dan as well. P17, he's also not got a lap time to his name. So these two boys in 17th and 18th really need to try and salvage something from this session.
Yeah, definitely. So, if my internet does decide to die, by the way, I apologise because he is going to be, Mr. Evan Dalton is going to be coming in the commentary box if it does decide to die again. If I notice it die on my OBS first, then I'll probably know there is an internet issue going on my end on my house. Wiener there in 7th, by the way, 19.4 is on that set of soft compound ties. He's doing a good job, certainly, at this stage in this qualifying session. Savdo on top from Legend in second, Ray there in third. Evan saying as well in the chat, why is Wiener actually out on track and setting the lap? Well, he's there in 7th, 19.462. He's going to try and get a good lap time in. 2.5 tenths up, though. He wants to try and improve, and he actually wants to try and improve with the top guys, I think, at this point. As Sav, Legend, Ray, top 3. Rick and Tootie have gone 4th and 5th as well, so not a bad lap there at all from the Alpine man. The time now ticks down beyond 1 minute, and in fact actually goes beyond the 18 minutes of the qualifying session, so we are literally at the last gasp attempts for these drivers out on track as Wiener now on the run to the line. Might go ahead of McCabe Sam here, goes to the line and he does, goes second. Good lap time there from the Aventus Racing man. Sav not on the lap, Rick not on the lap along with Tootie. Sav there still out on top. Ogween is invalidated, so he could be perhaps in trouble. So was Elite Risks. Magician looking to try and get out of Q1 for NRX. He's there in 13th, currently in Q2 as we go forward. Magician now through the final couple of corners on the run to the line. Is he going to go at himself ahead? Yes, he does. Go 11, puts him there. Now under pressure, it's Tom, the one under pressure. Shazoo man on the run to the line, gets himself up to third in the end. Big lap time in from Tom, puts Arch now down out of Q1. FRA Arch, the man who I predicted for P3, is out of the session. There in 16th, Jam in 17th, Dan Screen, Nathan and Smokey, of course, for that qualifying ban, down in 19th position. But FRA Arch, the big, well, potentially a big shock. I did say he could be quite good around this track a little bit earlier on, but Arch there in 17th, 19.642, and this is why you don't put me under pressure for a pole prediction.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there for Arch, but a little bit of the way off it when you look at the rest of them. The field is super close, so you just have to point that out. 5 tenths separate Arch in 17th to Sav in P1, so incredibly close stuff, and especially in and around that 16th spot where there were 3 or 4 drivers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers all in the 0.5, so very, very tight margins, and unfortunately for Arch, he was just on the wrong side of those tight margins.
Yeah, and Francesco out of qualifying as well. Only 0.02 of a second actually between Jam and Francesco there in 15th and in 16th position. It's Sav out on top from Wiener in second. Tom there in third. We'll run through the rest of the grid now with McCabe Sam there in fourth. Legend there in fifth. Ray in sixth. Rick there in seventh. Tootie there in eighth. VSR both through in Q2 along with Asicum and Kian who are 9th and 10th. Then Zinity in 11th. Magician there in 12th. Ogween in 13th. Elite Risks in 14th. Jam there in 15th. Then Francesco, Arch, Dan Screen and Smokey, 16, 17, 18 to 19, they are the ones out of Q1. And apologies if you are experiencing maybe a few technical issues as well in terms of the audio. OBS decided to restart about 4 or 5 times, so we'll have to try and get that fixed if we can. Hopefully that is all good. It's certainly coming through on OBS on my end absolutely fine in terms of sync now, so hopefully that might have just fixed it. We are going to go for an advertisement break. Hopefully on the other side I will have an internet connection, and we will see you again in 30 seconds. and the internet has stayed stable, and we are back for Q2 of WOR Legacy Division. Welcome along if you are just tuning in, and apologies once again from my end if you did experience issues. Don't worry, if your internet also went down at the same time, don't worry, it wasn't your fault. It was not my fault, it was Virgin Media's fault, so they have to get better internet connection, and hopefully, speaking of better things, we are going to get a better qualifying session as well here in Q2 as Magician and Legend on the first two out on track, the NRX man and the Talent Factory man respectively. And out of Q1, obviously, we had Arch, we had Francesco and the likes, and Smokey, of course, for that qualifying ban further down the field. He already out of Q1. Q2 now, this is where we will really get to see, I think, Callum, the real pace of the drivers and potentially the early favourites for pole position.
I think Q1, I think for a lot of people, it's just kind of expected to make it through, especially maybe your guys at the front of the field. They just make sure they get a lap in, get a solid lap in, and you'll be fine. I think Q2's a little bit different. It's kind of the time to stretch the legs a little bit, just open it up a little bit more, and then that's, as you said, you kind of start to see your favourites for pole, see who really is the quickest on the day. And yeah, it's always quite a good one, Q2, but also I think as well, another end of this battle to get into Q3 will be super tight. We've seen how close it was in Q1. I think it'll be just as close, if not even closer, in Q2.
Yeah, definitely so. Indeed, Magician is the first man out on track. I'm, however, going to ride on board with Legend. He was my pick for P1. Evan Dalton has also informed me that he's got everything set up in the case of an emergency, i.e. my internet absolutely dying once again. If it does, then, as I say, you're just going to have to cope with Mr. Evan Dalton for the next hour and, 15 minutes, I think, or so. And Callum, of course, will be alongside him in the comments box, so I will have to step out if it does happen again. As Legend now on the run down in towards turn 1. Magician is also ahead of him out on track, and we'll see the comparison between laps here between Magician and Legend. Coming to the right-hander now of Curva Grande at turn number 3, and Curva Grande, of course, as I mentioned, in excess of 200 miles an hour on the exit of Curva Grande, on the run up towards the hill at turn number 4, and run up towards the end of first sector split. 26.1 from Legend on the first sector is pretty much there or thereabouts. Catching the curve a little bit too much. Coming on the left-hand side through the Delavod chicane, now through the right-hander of the Lesmo 1, and then through the right-hander of Lesmo 2, and he is looking pretty good, I've got to say, on this lap is Legend, as he now comes through the final couple of quarters in this middle sector, on the run now down the Curva del Serraglio, in towards the Viscari chicane, 52.7 in that middle sector from Legend, not looking too bad at all. Through the right-hander now of turn 9, through the left-hander of turn number 10, and then towards, of course, Curva Alvaretto. Looks like Magician has gone a little bit quicker, potentially, than Legend on this lap, given Xbox hacks and all of that. Obviously quicker than PS around here on a natural one-to-one lap, as Legend now comes through the final couple of corners, as my voice is going at the end of this lap. That's not ideal either. Legend now on the run to the line, actually goes quick by 0.2 of a second. Looks a bit deceiving though. I thought Magician was going to be quicker, but Legend there out on top, 19.4. Kian there now second, 19.5. Magician there third, was third. Ray now going third, 19.6. We've got 2D on the run to the line as well. The VSO man is on the run toward the line. That's a 20 flat from the VSO man to go ahead of Asicum. Tom there in 5th. Good lap times being set in though. Sav, however, invalid, along with McCabe Sam, who also was invalid.
Quite ideal for those two guys whatsoever. McCabe Sam making a habit out of that, and invalidated his first run in Q1. A big spin there for McCabe Sam into the wall, actually. Just on board with him there, that's certainly not a good way to have an in-lap. I'm not too sure if he was on another push lap. I don't think he was. I think he genuinely spun on his in-lap there. But yeah, as I said, McCabe Sam not having a great time of it. He did produce a very good lap, in fairness to him, at the end of Q1, but yeah, he just needs to make sure he can try and get that form again, and just make sure he can try and get that Mercedes through into qualifying 3.
Yeah, definitely so. The Mercedes there down in 13th. Sav there has just started up, I think, on another run. The McLaren coming to the right hand of Lesbo 1. I don't think he's actually on a quick lap here, is the McLaren. Rick has just started up on a run as well, 54.9 on the middle sector. I think he's down, though, in that middle sector split. Legend, though, out on top from Zinity there in second. Good lap time there from him, the NOX man. Kian there in third, Ray in fourth. Magician there in 5th. Magician has been a part of the console Tier 1 lineup this season as well. McCabe Sam, though, backing off this lap. Rick is not on a run unless he wants to try and go into the pits and then go for another run. I think he will. So Rick is into the pit lane, and Sav is through the middle sector. We'll ride on board with him. He's the only other man out on track at this stage. Coming to the right-hander, Zinity has left the session. Now, hopefully everything is okay with Zinity. Hopefully it might be the Virgin Media curse now reaching his end rather than my end. But Sav now coming through into the pit lane Jam is now the next man to come up onto a lap time, and Wiener as well is on a lap time as well in the Haas. He is backed off though, coming through Parabolica, but it's Legend out on top, Zinity in second, Keen there in third. Hopefully all is good on Zinity's end, and hopefully he can get back in very soon indeed.
Zinity back into the lobby. Hopefully he can get in. Hopefully it won't have too many qualms on his session. But yeah, surprised to see some of the drivers kind of fail to set a lap time. We've got 5 guys all waiting to try and set their inevitable lap time in this session. I'm just kind of wondering if go out again before the end of this session, or if they're all going to try and put their eggs in one basket, you could say, and go for it right at the end. It would be quite a risky one to do, especially with track and the nature of this one. But you never know. We've got someone out in the track at the moment, so that's Aston Martin. I'm assuming that will be, I'm trying to find who it will be. Is it Magician? Yeah, it is Magician. So he's out at the moment. He isn't happy with his P5. He's looking to try and go again. And then at the other end, I think we've got SLR Jam out on track at the moment as well. I think he'll be looking to just about start his lap.
Yeah, definitely going to be starting his lap. Indeed, the SLR man, the straight line racing man, down there in 14th position. Currently looking as Zinity has managed to rejoin, so I wonder if there's just a little bit of a cursed lag spike potentially that caused him to leave the session. As now Jam is on the run down in towards turn number 1, in excess of 215, sometimes even 220 mile an hour on the run towards turn number 1 at the Retrofree chicane. Legend Zinity Kian, if you are just tuning into the chat, is in the top 3 at this stage. We now come through the Retrofree chicane with Jam on the run up towards Curva Grande, and of course on the run up towards the left-hander of the Della Rocha chicane. WOR royalty, by the way, in the live stream chat. League Racing royalty, PSGL royalty. George Morgan is in the chat. Good evening, George. Hope you are doing very well indeed. You haven't got a spare internet cable potentially for my internet if we have to draw. Absolutely fantastic. Bear with. Hang on. That might have just been a lag spike. I hope it was. I think we're back. 53.2 in the middle sector from Jam. Coming to the right-hander at turn number 9, to the left-hander at turn number 10, and then on the run-up toward the right-hander of turn number 11. Legend Zinity and Kean, though, currently in the top 3. Jam now coming through the right-hander of the final corner at Curva Alboreto. Parabolica, of course, you and me coming through the right-hander. Should go toward the bottom end of the field, I think, here, maybe behind Tudi Rasacoma as he comes down the run toward the line. Jam goes behind Tudi, 20 flat, not a bad lap there at all. Legend, though, out on top, Zinity in second, Kean there in third. Hopefully, though, Callum, my internet is not going again.
I think it's shift at the moment. But yeah, Jam, as much as a 20 flat isn't a bad lap, it's not great, is it, in comparison? I mean, you looked at in the last session, I think it was 0.5s and 0.6s most guys were doing. So yeah, just not on the pace at the moment as Jam, maybe an old set of tyres, maybe just wasn't a very well hooked up lap. But yeah, he certainly will have to improve that lap time if he does want to see himself go through into the next session. Just looking on board with it right at the moment, currently in P4 in that Alpha Tauri. He's looking very strong, isn't he? And he's just looking to try and improve on that. See if he can try and get himself into the top. Did he got a little bit of traffic in Aston Martin, pulls over to the right hand side. He's now only got one more corner to navigate, and that's Parabolic. It's a really quick right hander. He throws the car in 5th gear up into 6th, nice and early, using all the track as well, and then he gets that car over to the right hand side, the shortest line possible as he comes across the line. It's a 1 minute 19 flat, and there you have it. He is the quickest of this session by a pretty impressive 4/10 as well. What a lap time that was.
Yeah, what a lap time it was, but not for long, because Legend's even going quicker. A really good middle sector, 4/10 up from Legend in this middle sector. Tudi now going second there as well, 19.2. Big improvement from his first run on that set of soft compound tyres. Sav was on a lap as well. He was actually just backed off, I think, coming to Ascari. I think he might have had a slight moment there through Ascari. But Legend now coming to the final couple of corners through Parabolica on the run toward the line. Let's see what Legend will do. Ogween there currently in second. Legend, though, goes quickest, 18.8. Not within doubt, I've got to say, from the Dutchman's perspective. 2/10 clear of Ray, but now Asacom splits the pair. Tom there goes third. Big improvements coming in. The PS boys are rocking so far as Sav has backed off. He's going to go for another run. Elite Risk as well is on the run. I think he's just had a moment there coming out of Lesbill 1 on the run up towards Lesbill 2. The other SLR man, of course, here in the field. But Legend out on top, Asacom in second. Tom there currently in third. Elite Risks through that middle sector split. Did make a mistake as we roll on board. 54.2 is not that quick through the middle sector on board with Elite, and he's just invalidated for good measure as well.
Coming to the very end of his lap, he's coming across the line. Now we're going to put that Aston Martin, and it's only good enough for P8, 119.2. That is certainly going to be pretty marginal. McCabe Sam as well, he managed to get his first lap time in the session at 119.103, so a decent lap time there from the VSR driver. He'll probably be a little bit more happy with that attempt.
Yeah, definitely so. I've just offered the apology, by the way, in the live chat to everyone. Hope you all doing well, though, in the chat. Sav now coming up towards the Scary chicane through this middle sector. 52.6. Big, quick middle sector there from Sav. I think it's 2 tenths off Legend in that part of the lap. As he now comes through the right-hander of the left-hander, actually, coming out of Ascari through the right-hander in towards Parabolica very shortly. He has got a car ahead of him, just getting off to the right-hand side. I believe that might be Tom, who was just backed off, actually, on a down lap. Obviously, he might have ran out of fuel. The Shazoo man, as Legend thinks that's quickest. I think that's quickest as well. Sav now goes 7th. 19.154. Tootie there at 19.2. I mean, Magician and Wiener, they are obviously going to be quicker when they set their laps. Jammer's going to be quicker. Rick and Elite Risk, I know Rick has got good pace around here as well, so he will be up there. I'm honestly not convinced by Sav's lap there. 19.154. He's 3 tenths off Legend. I think he's in a spot to bother potentially. I think he might have to go again.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. It's certainly borderline, and for someone like Sav, he doesn't need to be borderline. He's quick enough to set a better lap time than that. So I think he might be. It's not a bit disappointed. I think he sold himself short there, and yeah, he needs to get that McLaren round pretty quickly. Only 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, and yeah, he is certainly borderline to making it through into this next qualifying session. He's got a lot of drivers behind him that are more than capable of improving. So yeah, I think you're probably looking at maybe a mid-0 is probably going to be the cut-off point to make it through into qualifying 3.
Yeah, definitely so, indeed. Brad is there. Cut-off going to be in like a 19 flat. Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be around a 19 flat, I think, in terms of this cut-off period. And if that is the case, then this cut-off period is going to be quite crucial. Sav then 19.154. That could be enough. I know I've commentated around here on the PS side many different times on this game cycle as Asakun retires in the pit lane. He obviously feels like he's done enough. But I noticed actually on this game, the improvements that you go through from Q2 to Q3, very limited towards the end of the session. So they've got to try and get in basically one lap. If they screw up their first lap, they can go for another run, obviously. Ray retires, he thinks he's done enough. 19 flat though, as brothers are saying there, a 19 flat for a cut-off period. Ray is on that 19 flat cut-off period potentially. He's there in 4th at the minute. It all depends on whether the guys behind can try and improve. And I'm looking at the likes of Magician, who's there in 11th. He's going to be the first man, I think, to set up on a lap here to the end of Q2. He's there in 11th, 19.6. What does he have to do to try and get into Q3?
I think it's as simple as that. But I think Ray should be okay. I think a 0.07, it's pretty low in terms of the flat, so he should be alright with that lap time and sitting in P4 as well. I can understand why he thinks that will be enough. His Keane's now coming round the final corner. He's looking to try and start his lap time. He certainly will have to improve with that 0.1. And yeah, there's definitely a couple of guys as well starting their lap times that will always seeking to try and get to the qualifying 3.
Yeah, Magician up in the first sector, 600 up through the first sector. Shazoo Thomas retired from the session. He's there in third with an 18.991 at this stage. Coming now through the right-hander of Lesmo 1 through turn number 6, and then through the right-hander of turn number 7 at Lesmo 2 on the run down the Curva del Serraglio. This little kink called the Curva del Serraglio because it's literally a curve within the middle of a straight that I think is translated from Italian to English. 52.3 though for Magician is quick, and the NOX man is looking alive here to try and even beat Legend. I think in terms of the stat, it's going to be up here from the NOX man. Do not discount NOX at your peril. The Alpine there just getting a cheeky bit of slipstream to the NOX man. That was unintentional from the NOX man for sure. As now comes in towards Parabolica through the final couple of corners. Legend, Asacum, Tom, top 3. Magician going in amongst this top 3, I think. And he goes quicker. No, he doesn't. He goes 5th. 19 flat. I was absolutely convinced he was going to quickest on that lap. Magician there in 5th. Ogween there in 6th is improving. McCabe Sam is backed off a lap. I think he's just brown up for another run now. As Sav is in Ballard, he's going to go for another run. Kian now the next to come across the line. The TF man on the runner towards the line. Needs this to get into Q2, and I think he will. Into Q3, I should say. 18.990 goes third. That should be enough, I think, from Talent Factory Kian to get him through. Rick as well is on a lap at this stage. Elite risks to the line. That is not a good run at all. I think he's going to go for another run. Rick in the first sector, 26.1. And Wiener, 52.3 in the middle sector. He's looking to try and improve as well. Juventus Racing could have a driver here in the top 3, and he does. Wiener goes second. Big lap time in there from the Juventus Racing man. Legend now out on top. Wiener second. Ogwe now in third. Kian there in fifth. 18.9. Everyone else behind him improves, apart from Magician, who of course is back off this lap. Everyone else improves. Kian's in trouble.
Certainly, it's a big one now at the moment down in P11. He has to improve to make sure he's going through. Two VSR drivers sitting pretty in this position, P9 and P10 respectively. They need to make sure they can improve. I think that was that Zenity there coming across line. He's in P9. I'm not too sure that's going to be enough for the Aston Martin man. Magician looks like he's going to be improving either. So I think the two Aston Martins probably might not be able to qualifying three. So it's up to these VSR guys. There was McCabe Sam with this one at Ascari. That's not doing his chances any good. I think Toby as well might not be improving by the looks of things. Looks like he's backed off, so it's all a little bit peak tongue for VSR at this end of the session. PSR Sam coming around the final corner. Where can he put that McLaren? Currently in P12. He's a showman for PSR now as he comes across the line. What lap time can he do? It's 11 to 18.9. He goes P5. He is safely through.
He is safely through. Rick is out of qualifying 2 as well. They're down in 13th. He did improve on a lap time, 19.166. Not enough, of course, to try and improve on the likes of McCabe, Sam and Tootie. Tootie in the end, 200ths of a second was the gap. It is. Legend out on top. Wiener there in second. Ogween there in third. As again, apologies about if I have a little bit of a lag spike here and there. Apologies if you didn't hear any of that. But what I was saying is 200ths of a second is the gap between Zenity and Tootie once again. 10th and 11th position. Fantastic racing from them all. And good to see, by the skin of their teeth actually, Callum, NRX, 2 drivers in Q3, I think for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see something like great from both drivers there. And certainly, I think a couple of upsets. I think it's fair to say the two VSR guys go out is certainly an upset, especially team of their standards sitting fourth in the constructors. That is not what you want to see. So yeah, it's a tough one from there, but yeah, once again, super close all throughout the fields. You know, 18.8 was the quickest time we've seen, and a 19 flat wasn't enough to put you through into qualifying 3. So yeah, super close field, and I think it is going to tee us up for a pretty fantastic race as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, a joke, by the way, made in the chat from Mr. Luke Humphries himself. I know, but you signed brothers a day after doing well at Silverstone and WRLD. And look at Wiener. They're in second, behind Legend. Could be a new signing for Talent Factory, perhaps. 1800ths of a second off the man who ran away, by the way, in PSGL. Yes, in intermediate conditions, by 20 seconds in America. Watch out for him. Legend, though, out on top from Wiener in second. Ogween there in third. Vlassacom there in fourth. Sav there in fifth. Kian in sixth. Tom in seventh. Ray in 8th, Magician and Zenity 9th and 10th, and then Tootie, McCabe, Sam, Rick, Elite Risks, and Jam, who are the 5 out. Tootie, McCabe, Sam, Rick, Elite Risks, and Jam are the 5 out of Q2, with now all turned attention to Q3, where I am literally going to put myself on the spot here and just predict fastest lap. I am going to go 18.6.
Oh, I like that. I think that's you know, I think you're on the money with that one, but I'll go for an 18.5 just to be different. But yeah, I think around that neck of the woods will probably where we'll see pole position.
Yeah, Avatar coming in there, fast lap Q3, 18.650, so dead on the dot in terms of the thousandth of a second there, potentially. But hopefully we're all good. Hopefully there is no more lag. If there is going to be lag, I do apologise. It is a very much a nationwide issue with the Virgin Media Wi-Fi here in the UK. I am on that Virgin Media Wi-Fi. The PS4 is absolutely fine. Connected to Ethernet on the PS4, that is absolutely fine. Running like an absolute dream. It's just the laptop and Discord potentially that could lag here and there. And if that is the case, that's where I'm streaming from, and that's where you'll be experiencing the lag from as well. But Q3 now about to begin. Ray is the first man out on track. The homeboy hero, of course, for the Italian outfit of Outplayed Racing, and they are hoping to try and get at least one of their drivers maybe to the top step of the podium here for Q3. Ray, the first man out on track, he's got this distinctive advantage, of course, of being that first man out on track. With only 10 drivers in Q3 as well, we shouldn't see much traffic. However, there was a famous moment in qualifying, I think in 2021 around here, where everyone got backed up and then about half the field didn't make their final runs.
It was pretty famous. Hopefully none of those shenanigans around the end doesn't look like there is. Everyone's pretty nicely spaced out actually. Just see it on my track map, there's about I think there's only 5 drivers out on track, and other than Legion and Ray, not Ray, maybe Asicombe. Other than those two, everyone else is pretty nicely spaced out. Got a few drivers still in the pit lane there, biding their time. You've only got enough time to get 2 lap times in anyway, so there's no need for these guys to get it out straight away. So they'll maybe give it a couple of minutes, then they will go for the lap times. But I think the first driver to set his lap time will be Ray coming around the final corner now.
Yeah, definitely. So, apologies, by the way, if you were experiencing lag there as well, and if you didn't hear much Callum, I had the stream running in the background of my laptop, which I think is why the lag might have been getting caused on my end. Hopefully, though, that is fixed. Ray on the run down in towards turn number 1, at the recipe which came through the left-hand return number 2, then through the right-hand return number 3. 3 at Curva Grande. Evan Dalton, you were completely right, I think, with that. That's what happens when you live in the northeast of England. But Ray up the hill now and towards the left-hand return number 4, Della Rogers, 26.1 in the first sector there, or thereabouts is what we've been seeing so far. Flicks the car left, flicks the car right, beautifully done, coming out through turn number 5 there at Della Roger, and now into the right-hander of turn number 6 at Lesmo 1, and then to the right-hander once again at turn number 7 at Lesmo 2. Of course, a clockwise track to you and me, coming through the left-hander of Curva del Sol, running down running down the back straight, the second DRS on the course around here as well. There has been rumours as well, I have heard, as 52.6 is set by Ray in the middle sector. I've heard they're going to be adding another third DRS zone here, on the run towards Parabolica, which could promote a lot of overtaking within the race. Ray on the run towards Parabolica, though, at this stage. He comes in towards the final couple of corners. The Italian man, he looks to try and provide himself with the top spot in pole position. So certainly at this stage of the qualifying, whether or not he'll be there at the end of the session, though, remains to be seen. A 19.1 though from Ray is not too bad at all. Zinity 52.8 in that middle sector. Legend now the next man to come across the line. He's going to go quicker, and an 18.8 already from Legend, pretty much matching what he was doing in Q2. Asicombe there goes second, and only 1100ths of a second behind him. Legend though out on top, Asicombe there in second, Ray there in third. Magician on the run towards the final couple of corners, 52.9 in that middle sector there as well. Avatar saying in the chat, if any driver has lag, get away from him. Don't show him on the screen. I will try my absolute damnedest to try and do that, as Magician is on the run towards the line, and he goes 5th currently, 19.5. Disappointing, I think, for the NRX boys so far. But Callum, out on top so far, Legend, Asicombe, Ray, and all of them, certainly PS boys.
Looking good. There's not a lot of Xbox guys in here to try and fly the flag, but you know, the ones that are doing a good job, I think Zenity and Magician are doing pretty solid so far. And Sav, he's the main one. He's coming in the final corner. He's starting his lap. He's a big one to try and just keep an eye on if he can try and get at least the top 3 for PSR as they're in that hunt to try and chase down Talent Factory at the top of this championship. Obviously, Smokey as well. He's got a qualifying ban, so Sav is the sole man flying the flag for PSR tonight in qualifying.
Yeah, definitely so. Evan also informing me of the audio being slightly out of sync. It's around 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds inferior. And I've literally just said, yeah, that's what happens when you have to restart OBS like 5 times over. Automatically, by the way. Automatically, I didn't have anything to do with that. Wiener, by the way, is on the lap. He's on the run up in towards Parabolica. Looking pretty good, I've got to say, as he does so. Legend, though, out on top. Asicombe there in second, Ray there in third. Wiener now coming through the final corner. He could be a lively outsider, potentially, for pole position here, the Aventus Racing man, as he is on the run toward the line. 19.5 there from him. Very good lap time from his perspective. He goes ahead of Magician. He will be quicker, I'm sure, on his final run. Sav is on the run as well through the middle sector. 52.5. That's more like it, I think, from Sav in that middle sector. Flicking it right now through turn 9. Through the left-hand turn number 10 at the exit of Ascari. It's Legend, Asicombe and Ray currently in the top 3. 6.5 minutes ago, currently in qualifying. People saying in the chat as well, Ajax is a small club. Yes, Sunderland is also a small club, but that's where I'm from. Sav now coming to the final couple of corners on the run toward the line with the PSL man, the sole PSL man, of course, in Q3, smoking with that qualifying ban, and Sav goes third, 18.917, 300ths of a second off Legend. Good lap time there from Sav. That's more like it, I think, from the PSL man. Tom and Kian also on runs at this stage. Tom, more immediately, 52.3 in the middle sector, is quicker than Sav by 0.2 of a second through the middle sector. So the Shazoo man could come out with a very good lap time here. Keane as well. He's coming through the middle sector split. I think he's actually backed off potentially. 52.4 in the middle sector. He hasn't backed off. He is a 10th down on Tom out of this middle sector. Tom on the run to the line and goes quickest. Wow. Tom, 18.8 out on top. Legend second. Asicombe there in third. Keane to try and go in toward the top 4 as well. And it could be for one of the first times, I think, this season, where one of the drivers, the driver on pole position, is going to be a PlayStation man. And this could be brilliant to see. I think in terms of our platform at least, as Kian there goes 5th, 18.9. Tom Adam top, Legend 2nd, Asacom in 3rd. No PS buy is shown in this chat. However, I'm very proud that the 5 out of the top 6 are PS balls.
Yeah, the PS position that for once, it's good to see at least. Yeah, it's only took them 7 rounds, but yeah, it's really good to see from those guys, and really close as well throughout the kind of the top 5 at the moment, all on those 18s, like incredibly high standard. Sav doing a good job for PSR there, but Tom as well, that lap kind of came out of nowhere, nearly a 0.7, so really just showing his strength at this track at the moment. But we've still got less than 5 minutes to go. There's still a lot of time for the track to get a little bit better, a little bit more greener, and I think it will probably get a little bit quicker for the last couple of minutes. So yeah, I think we still have got a lot to go through in these last couple of minutes in this session.
Yeah, Avatar, by the way, coming back to his comments, saying a little bit earlier on, he was saying an 18.650. We're not too far off that. We're only a tenth and a half way from that. We could potentially see it from Asacom on the run up towards the right-hander of turn number 1 in towards the Retafilio chicane. As Asacom approaches menacing-like in towards turn number 1, the Atari flicks it through the right-hander and 1, gets caught in the curb, flicks it through the left-hander of turn number 2, gets the traction on the exit, very nicely done from the OP man, who's now comes through the right-hander of turn number 3 at Curva Via Sono or Curva Grande, takes the inside line, just gains around half a tenth of a second there, just through that little bit of a movement, 26 flat in the first sector, does gain him that little bit of time, through that first sector, and he's looking pretty good, as I've got to say, the OP man, as comes in toward the right-hander now of turn number 6 at Lesmo 1, through the right-hander of turn number 7 at Lesmo 2. However, he's just invalidated through Lesmo 2 on the exit, so that is a shame for Masacom. He's the only one, I think, along with Ray, who is up, and then Ray actually is 2 tenths up in this middle sector, right above the other LP man, now coming through Parabolica on the run toward the line, and he's juked me because he's in the pits.
Yeah, right to the end. It did look like a good lap there from Ray, but maybe just would go again at the end of the session, maybe try and get a little bit more lap time out. If he goes later on, but yeah, once again, 20 mention how close this field is, and I think with another set of runs coming, it'll be really interesting to see who comes out on top here. I think anyone probably in that top 6, I'd say probably anyone in the top 10, but has got a chance of getting pole here just with the nature of how close it is. But I think especially that top 5, top 6, all it is a couple of tenths, and you could find yourself starting on pole position. So yeah, I think every tenth, every millisecond will be counting here. So yeah, just keep an eye on these times because I think it should be pretty close.
Yeah, it's a fair game, I think, for everyone. It's going to be an equal playing field now. The top 6 look to have it between themselves at this stage. However, Zenity, Wiener, we saw with Wiener in Q2. Is he going to try and get up there in terms of pole position? Is he going to be quick as Tom Legend Asacom? I know a representative for the Juventus team, who I think I saw a little bit earlier on, Evan, it was, we ain't getting pole, James. So they're not confident about the Juventus race. Man, you've got to have faith on your own man, for goodness sake. It is a team event at the end of the day. Wiener was showing good pace, of course, in Q2. Do not rule him out, actually, for a shock potential P1. However, he has got a big of a mountain to climb. 7-8 tenths per second, the gap is between Tom and himself, so Wiener has got to try and improve. Tom has just came out the pit lane. Sav is the first man, though, to go through the right-hander of Lesmo 2. He's on that outlap at this stage. The PSR man, 4th position. Big responsibility, though, for Sav, because Smokey, of course, starting right at the back of the field, down in 19th position with that qualifying ban. Sav, the only man for PSR in the top 3, so all the weight is literally on his shoulders right now.
Yeah, it certainly is, but so this is sometimes a good thing as well. If you're in a good position coming into these last runs, then you can also say maybe there's a little bit less pressure if you're sitting at the front, because then it means you've already got a good lap to fall back on. I think if you're near the back, this pressure then definitely starts to kind of fall on top of you. It's really tough around here as well if you're doing a lap with pressure, because it's so easy to maybe run wide or cut a corner or hit a curb the wrong way, and it can all go very wrong very easily. I think we've seen it at the end of Q2 last time. The 2 VSR guys, both of them needed to improve and both of them spun out, so it's very easy to make mistakes here when the pressure is on. And I think for these guys it's important just to try and keep ahead and make sure you deliver a good lap.
Yeah, definitely so. Sav now coming through Curva Grande at turn number 3. McLaren coming in towards the Della Rocha chicane. 26.2. He is off already on this lap. I wonder if he's going to back off on this run. PSR man does not seem happy, I don't think, with this run. I certainly wouldn't be happy with this run. at this stage. Saville coming to the right hand of Lesville 1. Could make up the time still though on this lap. I could be wrong with his first sector. Coming through Lesville 2. That was much better actually coming through Lesville 2. Looks to try and gain all the time back from what he lost in the first sector. The Savnak comes down the hill in towards the middle sector split. And yes, he's up 800th of a second up through the middle sector. Now flicking it right through Ascari. Flicking it left on the exit of Ascari. And now on the run down in towards Curva Grande once again. Curva Grande through Parabolica once again. Tom Legend has to come out on top, and Sav, if he invalidates through here, he has not got a chance for another run. So this will be his final make or break run for the PSR team. Looking to try and put it on P1 for now, as my TV has turned itself off. Give me a second. Sav on the run to line goes quick as 18.758. I can't find my remote because it's very dark in my room. I think I have now got the remote now. You will see a black screen for a second. Apologies. But we will be back very soon indeed. Everything is going wrong with this live stream, but we are going to be back very soon. There we are. Sav out on top. Tom there in second. Tom is down in the middle sector. 300's down in the middle sector. Wiener that went third, by the way. 18.8. I did say have some faith, Juventus Racing team. Legend there as well, coming through the middle sector. 52.4. He's slightly up on his time. Tom knows the next one to come across the line. The Aston Martin of Zinity, I think, is coming through the final corner as well. He's just ahead of Tom on track. We'll ride on board with the Aston Martin on the run to the line. And he, at the minute, goes at 8. So that's Magician going 8. Sorry, Zinity, the next one to come up. Tom, though, doesn't go quickest. Legend now making all the runs to the line. The Talent Factory man goes second. How close can you get for P1? Has to come to try and top the loss. The OP man on the run to the line. And he doesn't. He goes fourth. But my word, the PS boys out on top. Sam is out on top. And Ogween! Ogween for talent, for Team Valor. Out on top. How late can you leave it in Legacy Division? Ogween, 18.7, out on top. Sav there in second. Legend in third. Where on earth has that laptop come from?
Take that down right a lot of time that was indeed talking about leaving early right to the end. He comes in at Sav thought he had it delivered. I thought Sav had it as well. And there you have it. He just worked on that masterclass of a lap time. A low 0.7, 400th of a second. He's got it on pole position. What a lap time and very well deserved. Congratulations, Ogween. Fantastic.
Oh, goodness me. Ogween out on top. Team Valor doing a fantastic job, I think, in that qualifying session. Where on earth that lap time came from, I do not know. He was so far down in Q1, so far down in Q2. And that was absolutely masterful from the man in P1. Sav there in second, the only Xbox man, to be honest, up there along with Ogween, who's there out on top. What a qualifying session. My goodness me. Talk about a shock for P1. Ogween out on top. Xbox One 2 in the end. 600ths of a second coming the top 5 though is absolutely insane for a track like this at Monza. Ogween out on top, from Sav there in second, Legend there in third. I thought Legend had it. He did. In the end, he didn't. He was only 100th of a second off Sav. Tom 3,000th of a second off Legend. Asukum 1,000th of a second off Tom. So close. Wiener there in 6th, not disgraced whatsoever. Ray, Kean, Magician and Zinity, the NR Expo, didn't live up into the terms of the pace. They're right down at the bottom end of the field for Q3. Ogween though out on top. Sav in second. Legend there in third. Team Valor, be proud. We're going for an intermission break and we'll be back with you at the start of the formation. At the start of the race in just 30 seconds time. Well then, my word, absolutely unbelievable in terms of that qualifying session, in terms of Q3. Ogween out on top, absolutely came from the blue. Legend and behind him, Sav of course there in second, Legend and behind him there in third. talk about a shock qualifying session. Monza can deliver it all, Callum. I didn't think Ogween would be out on top. I honestly outrated his performance there in qualifying, and then he comes and does that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It wasn't set a lot out of the blue, and as you said, it wasn't someone that we had on the radar to be putting it up there. So yeah, he done a fantastic job. Right at the depth when it mattered, he delivered, and yeah, he'll be absolutely buzzing with that one. I think Savan, Legend, and Tom will all be very pleased with the performance. They're in the mix, and that's the main thing. So yeah, I think a really positive qualified session all round, and yeah, it certainly delivered its fair share of drama.
Yeah, definitely so, indeed. Mr. Evan Dalton, by the way, putting bets there in the chat, saying, does James's laptop last through the introduction? Taking all bets now. Just about did. At least it's better than having a very shoddy internet connection, as I've been having tonight. But we are hopefully about to get going very soon, indeed. As I say, I'm on a very limited setup as well in terms of my laptop. It is not a gaming laptop by any stretch of the imagination that I'm on. It somehow runs OBS fine. It somehow runs all the graphics fine. And you are treated to the best of my laptop and the best of my internet as well, which is not too bad at all. But, of course, a reminder of the driver stand of the constructor standings, of course, before we come into the race. Just a quick look before we do get going. Talent Factory out on top on 205 points. Paradox Sim Racing in second on 197. Outplayed in third on 129, with VSR in fourth on 104. Nexus Racing fifth on 67, with Shazoo in sixth on 54. Juventus Racing in seventh on 32. WOR Esports in eighth on 23. Summit Racing Team in ninth on 20. And then Team Valor in 10th on 19 points. And Talent Factory and Paradox Sim Racing are going to go to war, it seems, from that Q3 into the start of the race. 8 points separate them. What is going to happen in this race, Callum?
I think I'm going to see a lot of chaos, and I'm not sort of kind of manifesting. So I hope that will happen. But I think it normally is kind of the case around here. Monza, as I said earlier on, it has always been pretty good for League Racing, and just with the nature of the track. I mean, turn one, turn two, especially in the first lap, it's so slow. You come out, you're cutting at 200 miles an hour, and you're breaking down, turning out 60, 70 miles an hour, and it just causes a complete pile up at that first couple of corners. So I think the first lap is going to be crucial for a lot of these guys, making sure they don't get caught up in silly incidents. And throughout the race as well, I think we're going to see a lot of DRS strains, kind of the nature of the circuit, but I think we'll see our fair share of good battles along the way as well.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope we don't get any dive bombs in towards turn number one, but let's see what is going to happen, of course, here in Monza. Quick predictions, top three?
My quick prediction will be, I'll go for Legend to take the win, Tom second, and I'll go for Smokey in third.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go Legend for the win, Tom for second, Smokey for third. I'm going to agree with you, I think, on the top three. As, here we go, the five rides are about to come on here in Monza. It is round number 9 of the championship, and it's already lights out and moving, going all green. Gets a slow start, and Sav is going to be already on him. In towards turn one, the McLaren is going to pull alongside. Down in towards the Rettifield chicane they come with 200 mile an hour in excess. Sav on the run towards the first chicane. Gets the job done into P1. All green there in second. Legend there in third. Forces Tom there out wide. Everyone I think is clean through in the background. Smokey has already made 3 positions from the start. We'll get the timing tower on and everything there in behind as well. Ray is going side by side with Kian. TF against OP. McCabe Sam getting caught up there with Magician in the background and shot there as well. As Wiener looks towards the inside line, is absolutely lagging all over the place on my end. Hopefully that is just on his end as well. As Ray now and McCabe Sam all of a sudden are side by side. Kian gets the job done on Ray, holds on for 7th for now. Ray there in 8th, McCabe Sam in 9th. Magician there is fighting side by side there with Zinity, and Zinity there in 12th as well. The NOX man making good progress through the field, but already Sav out on top. Ogween in second, Legend in third. Ogween not disgrace up the start at the end. Sav though out on top, just quick off the line as Asacum now comes the Insalon, and Wiener trying to get the job done through Ascari. They're side by side through Ascari. The AlphaTauri should have got to get the job done. Wiener is still there to be fair, and here comes Kian to try and go for the 3 wide. He gets within the slipstream now of Asacum to try and come around the outside and toward Parabolica. Nearly 4 abreast has become actually in toward Parabolica. Tom there in 4th is having the box size seat ahead of these guys. Asacum though through the final couple of corners, still there in 5th. Wiener, Kian, side by side with Ray. Mad opening lap. Savard on top, Ogween in second, Legend there in third, and still side by side between Wiener and Kian towards turn 1.
These guys, Kian still going for it in turn 1. He's breaking late side by side with the Haas. Is Great racing between the two of them. Great respect. Look at he's hanging in there. He's got a better exit as well, but we've also got Ray in the background. He's looking to see if he can try and get involved. McCabe Sam, he's at the greatest start, and he's looking to try and capitalise on this as well. But Keane, he's still just about hanging in there for P6. The Hat's got the outside line coming at the turn 4 though. I think he might just have to get this move done. It's great racing between the two. Great respect, but in the end, Keane does have to yield, and he will have to stay in P7 for the time being.
Absolutely unbelievable racing there from Wiener and Keane. They pretty much went the entirety of the whole lap, pretty much side by side, from end point to end point. That was phenomenal between them both. Full credit to both of them. And Ray, as you mentioned, right on the back of these guys as well. The OP man in 8 on the back of Keane and Wiener. But Savad on top still. From Ogween in second. Ogween now has settled down as Smokey making his way through the field, gained 7 positions off the race start, or actually 6 positions off the race start. He has gained most positions out of everyone. McCabe Sam has also gained 3. He had a very good stop. However, though, he's under pressure from the magic man of Magician as he comes in toward the right-hander of turn 11, a Parabolica. Wiener, though, is still under pressure. The Aventus Racing Man doesn't have good race trim normally, and this is telling because Keane is right on the back of him. And here we go for round 2, and it's going to be an easy round 2 because Keane passes Wiener down the straight in towards turn number 1, and Keane surely is through and he's into 6th position. And now McCabe Salmon's under pressure from Magician once again. Another leg spike there from Wiener in towards turn number 1. Here comes Arch, the inside line of 2D as well, right in the background. They've shot the BSL man side by side with the FRA man, but the FRA man doesn't come out on top on that occasion. Francesco 11 16th, the other Juventus race man doing a good job, but Sav out on top. Ogween in second, Legend there in third. Great stop from Sav, great stop from Ogween as well, and Ogween, to be fair, is sticking with Sav in these early stages.
It's what Keane with that battle in the first lap with Wiener, it's really kind of not doing him any favours. 1.7 seconds off the top 5 now, and with DRS now enabled, that is going to be very, very costly. Only 10% ERS as well, which is extremely going to really hurt him, to put it bluntly. So yeah, this isn't going to look great for Keane. He's got a lot of catching up to do now, and he needs to try and get his head in to make sure he can try and salvage that DRS to the top 5.
Yeah, definitely so. Legend there on the back of Ogween, trying to get back in that slipstream train. Tom around the slipstream length, actually, 8 tenths per second behind on Legend. Cole running wide there in the back, but I think was Elite Risk, if I'm not mistaken. They're down in 19th man wide there, coming on the exit of Ascari, coming out the exit of Ascari. Ray though on the back of Wiener, looking to try and get the job done, running down the straight, maybe in towards turn 1. The Italian outfit, of course, outplayed racing at their home track. Of course, their other home track being Imola on this game. Ray though looking to try and get the job done, but I think everyone now settling down. Smokey, a man on a mission though, going to try and get past Rick on the run towards turn number 1. PSL man looks toward the inside line, fakes the move, but doesn't want to go for the move. Maybe on the exit of the corner out of turn number 2 at the Retropilo chicane. The Smokey on the back of Rick once again is going to look around the outside of cover. Grande, and this is absolutely easy potentially from Smokey. He will have the inside line to try and defend in towards turn number 4. He will not need that inside line to try and defend in towards turn number 4. Nice move there from Smokey. He is doing, he's into 12th. Nicely done by the PSL man, and he is coming through the field like a knife through butter. Yeah,
absolutely. It's extremely impressive from Smokey. Actually, it's easy to get caught up. I just take it too cautiously, and Joy, he's been fantastic. No damage. He's kept it on the black stuff, and that's the main thing. And in P12 as well. So yeah, he's coming through very nice at a steady pace as well. And yeah, Smokey, if he keeps this up, he could be on for a really solid result here.
Yeah, definitely so indeed. The tweet, by the way, from WOR. Ogween earned himself €6 from the Team Valor bank account after studying that to take pole position. He's earned his fee, certainly. He's earned his driving fee right there in second, but also in his driving fee and behind is his fellow countryman Legend, and Legend is right on the back of him in towards turn number 1, and the Ferrari now looks to try and pass a Red Bull down the straight towards turn 1. I wonder where we've seen this battle before, and actually Ogween is looking to try and cut Sav in towards turn 1, but there goes Legend to the inside line, in towards turn 1. Legend, Rosenberg, of course, was on the PC side, now back to PS side, of course, the Legacy division. He is on the back of Ogween there in second, doing a good job. Legend there in third. They're pulling away from Tom there in fourth, who has got good pace. Hopefully doesn't boulder in the race like he has done in Legacy Division and in Console Tier 1 in previous weeks. But he's doing a solid job for the Shazoo team in there in fourth. But Sav, Ogween, Legend, top 3. Tom now, because everyone's just beginning to back each other up and Ogween's being a little bit of a slow coach there in second. Legend in the back in third. It's just giving Tom that little bit of impetus to try and catch. He has got that ERS on. And coming through Les Mode 2, he is just within DRS range.
Yeah, he's just about hanging on in there. I think he did manage to get it. No, he didn't. Tom didn't get the DRS. That's a tough one for him, but Asicombe in the DRS though, so that's an important thing for him. But Tom, he's pushing his heart out now to try and get it from the DRS of the top 3, and then just looking further back. Keane in 6th. He's really struggling a little bit now. That ERS is almost at 0 now, as he's now got the Haas behind them as well, who's just trying to keep the pressure on Keane, try and get a bit of a hurry up, but not too much avail. Keane starting to lose grips with the top 5 now, as this top 5 start to go into a little bit of a race of their own.
Here comes Legend once again on the back of Ogween. He might turn the EOS off again, not to find fake moving towards turn 1. He has got the closing speed though this time around, and he's been told by the Talent Factory team boss to try and go for the move in towards turn 1. He forces Ogween into a mistake there, going around the outside now at turn number 2 at the Retrofield chicane. They lean each other slightly, just about get away with it, but it's now put Sav a second up the road as a result of that resulting contact. Ogween there in second, Legend there in third. Ogween was cooking. He was cooking until the point of contact there on the exit of the Retrofield chicane. Now back outside of a second as Legend has a huge snap of oversteer in mid-corner coming through. Well recovered there by Legend. Very, very tough to try and grab a hold of that. But Legend there in third. Tom there in fourth is now on the back of him. Legend. Mistakes just beginning to creep in for the first time in this race on lap 6 out of 27 with Ray on the back of Wiener and Wiener on the back of Kian.
Yeah, that battling has now just allowed Sav to try and break the DRS. 1.1 seconds is the gap between first and second now, and this is going to be crucial for the race now. Ogween needs to try and get his head down, try and get back within that DRS. He's using all his DRS now coming out of this scary chicane, but so is Sav. He is wise to that one, and as they come across the DRS detection point now, I think Sav will be safe this lap, so he's starting to break a little bit of a barrier now. He needs to try and keep that up, does the McLaren though, if he wants to try and pull away. But yeah, things are certainly looking good for PSR Sav.
Yeah, definitely so. Indeed, Ogween there in second doing a fantastic job. Legend there in third is on the back of that battle as well. Just trying to fix further down the field, see if there's anything going on. There's a big old DRS train from Kian downwards all the way to Jam pretty much there in 17th position. And then you've got Dan Screen just struggling slightly with elite risks at the back end of the field. They'll be on there in their own private squad, I think, as the race will go on. Avatar saying there in the chat, you two fight, I win. Simple as that, and that is the simplicity of Formula 1 some days. One driver gets a little bit risky and goes for the reward will come back to bite them, and that will be unfortunate for any driver that does attempt that, of course. Here in Italy, it has been pretty plain sailing though. Nobody has come in the pit lane at the end of the first lap, of course, as well. But Sav there leading the way from Ogween in second, Legend there in third. Kian, though, really lacking in terms of pace. He's out of VRS. He's out of that fuel nearly as well. He's running very low on fuel compared to his rivals in behind. Wiener is running low on fuel, but he is running quicker, and that is a big difference, I think, between the JR man and the TF man at this stage. Ray there in 8th, McCabe Sam there in 9th are doing a fantastic job as well. But it's just a matter of when, not if, really, if Kian is going to get overtaken from Wiener, because Wiener there, 30% of EOS elite risk picked up on the first 3-second penalties of the night. Wiener there in 7th, doing a good job. This could be really easy on the back of Kian towards turn 1.
Certainly could be Tom, but easy moves. I think battle for P2 here. Ogween, it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy one for Legend now. He pulls up to the inside. There's no ERS on that Red Bull, only 10% as they come into the braking. And there you have it, Legend up into P2. Now he is now on to the back of PSR Sav, 1.1 seconds. He's got 50% ERS though, and I think unfortunately for Sav, I think this Ferrari might just be back in the DRS of Sav.
Yeah, definitely so. Wiener, by the way, getting the move done on Kian. Pretty much a carbon copy of what we saw with Legend and Ogween. Pretty much a bit easier, I think, from Wiener's perspective. Rooney's into 6th, Kian there in 7th. Just being dropped down. He'd be worried, I think, the second half of the race. We, I think, due for a dry race as well. So this will be very good, I've got to say, in terms of the weather conditions out on track, in terms of the racing out on track as well. And hopefully it will continue on in the same gusto that we have seen so far this race as well. Avatar saying as well, pit stop between lap 14 and 15. Yeah, pretty spot on, I think, on a set of hard component size. They could do the Kazizzle, what I like to call around here. They could pit a little bit early. Kazizzle, the Shazoo man, has made it very famous, I've got to say, in league racing. As I'll cut myself off, because here comes Ray on the back of Kian. On the run towards Parabolica. Kian might just be a judge to let this one go. He's got the car ahead, Ray into the corner. Kian, though, late on the brakes. There's a yellow flag, that's elite risks van coming through Ascari. But Ray trying to hang it around the outside. Now to the inside line goes Kian and McCabe Sam. If he's not careful, he's going to have a run on both of them. And there could be maybe Noah's Ark. 2x2 they go in towards turn number 1 as the Haas tries to pull towards the defensive line. Wiener on the back of Ray. Ray on the back There, Wiener trying to dive it to the inside line of turn 1. Kian, if he's close, nearly tabs the back end, and there's more contact in behind. I think Magician locked up there on the back of Zinity. They were fighting side by side for the NRX team, and look who's taking full advantage. Here comes Smokey, smoking them around the outside of turn number 3 at Curva Grande, trying to get this job done, but he's not quite close enough just yet. Smokey there will get one, will get the other very soon. Magician there in 10th, Smokey there in 11th. Good job by Smokey, well controlled from cars as well from the NRX team. Wiener though 6th, Ray in 7th, and Kian now dropping down 2 positions for the price of 1.
It's not going great for Keane now, is it? He needs to be careful that he doesn't lose another one to McCabe Sam. They're starting to look a little bit more racy as this race is progressing, but Smokey, he's doing fantastically now. P11, he's well in the hunt as he's now in this train for P7, and I think it's all going to kick off pretty soon. We can see everyone really close behind each other, and all it takes is one move and then they'll all just fall like dominoes. So yeah, just keep an eye on this kind of battle for P7 because yeah, it's one hell of a train.
Yellow flags, by the way, was for Dansbury. He spins right round, baby, right round like a record, baby, right round, down in 18th position. Elite Risks there in 19th. People are looking at me and thinking, James, do not ever repeat that ever again on the stream. And I won't. Right on the back of Wiener in towards turn number 1. Looking very nice to get this job done. The OP man is Boo, and he's into 6th position and has now got Asicom 4 seconds up the road. Also side by side between Zinity and Smokey. I think Smokey got the car ahead. Coming in towards turn number 1. He's going to try and defend the position though from Zinity. Comes back at him. Coming to the better field chicane. Smokey though with the traction gets the job done on the exit. Rick's not too far off this battle either. He's involved in this. And Zinity actually is going to try and go all the way around the outside of Smokey once again. Blue cover, Grande, Smokey nearly pushed him onto the grass there slightly. Zinity has got the car ahead though in toward the Delaroche chicane. And Zinity through and he's into 11th. Fights back on Smokey. Smokey giving him absolutely no inch of room though. Great racing between them both. And this is why they're the 2 best teams on the Xbox side.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's good, respectful racing all throughout. It's good to have to say it's been really good racing so far. Hopefully, don't want to jinx that. I'm just going to have to say, I just seen a delta there between these top 2 getting nice and close. 3/10 between Sav and Legend, and I wonder if we will see a little bit of a switch between the 2 of them there. Just keep an eye on that one though, because Legend is starting to look a little bit more racy on lap 10 of this race.
Yeah, Legend Rosenberg on the back of Sav. Sav doing a good job at this stage, 0.3 of a second. This is normally where you see, though, the overtakes begin to move for the race lead. Ogween, Tom, Asicum sticking in within DRS train as well. Lap 11 out of 27, and here comes Legend. He might have to be forced into the move here to go to the inside line. Sav going to have a gentleman's agreement, I think, here. Legend now forcing the lead of the race. Sav there in second, and Sav will not be at all too displeased by that because he will be in second. He'll be on the back of Legend. He won't fight Legend too hard. Speaking of fighting too hard, by the way, McCabe Sam Kean, a Magician of 3 wide, coming out the red field chicane. That's never going to work because the Mercedes nearly puts that Kean into the wall there on the exit. McCabe Sam 3 wide, coming out of the red field chicane is difficult. 2 wide is even worse normally. Arch there now ahead of McCabe Sam. He's got dirt on the tyres as well and grass on the tyres of the VSR man, but it still doesn't stop him going around the outside to the Delaroche chicane. Now 2D in the background of this as well. Jam, Francesco side by side. There's absolute madness out on track. Side by side as well. Kian trying to force the move on 2D around the outside. In fact, actually 2D got the move done. And Jam and Francesco are still side by side coming through the Lesbos. Fantastic racing between them both. Up ahead though, Legend still in the lead. Sav there in second. Ogween there in third. The top 5 still separated by 2 seconds at this stage. Asicum's the one that's dropping off at the back of the field. For my word, drivers making it pretty hard for themselves out on track. And if that was any closer, they would have been contact and there would have been somebody in the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I jinxed it by saying it's all been nice and clean, and then Sam and Keane had a little bit of a moment, and they certainly have lost out, I should say, from that. Sam down to 13th, now Keane down to 15th. That's a really so one for the Talent Factory driver, but yeah, that is a tough lesson for the pair of them. And I'm just trying to see if we've got any more moves, but for once, so nice and single file for the time being. Everyone's just taking a little chill after that pretty chaotic last lap.
Yeah, Kean on the back of the VSR boys as well. He's there, recovered in 15th. Talent Factory will not be happy with that at all. There will be a steward's inquiry potentially coming the way there of the Mercedes man and McCabe Sam. To be fair, Magician I think was the one on the inside, and he actually looked like he was going to lunge McCabe Sam to the inside line. He didn't, and then there were 3 wide coming out, and I think the way McCabe Sam was, he couldn't go any further left because he would have hit Magician. He couldn't go any further right because he would have hit Kean. And there, look, I think McCabe Sam has actually let him through. So Kean now ahead of McCabe Sam out on track. fair play if that is the case, and obviously they've been told, let's not risk the penalty, let's just swap the positions out on track. 2D the one ahead as well, makes sense from a VSR perspective. Nicely done that by McCabe Sam, well respected. He and now 14th, McCabe Sam in 15th, has obviously led him through out on track, which is all fairness out on track, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, absolutely, you love to see that from those guys there. Just looking at the top 5 now, certainly a little bit of a race. 3.3 seconds separates Ray to his teammate Asicom, and then it's just the top 5 all on this little train. They're all nice and happy together. There's not too much going on between them. They're not battling too much. Legend out in front. You know, Sav sitting behind 60% ERS. He's happy to sit in P2 now, I think. Happy to get that DRS, save a little bit more of that ERS, and just have a little bit more of an easier time of it, and I think that's probably the same for the rest of these guys in the top 5. They're all just quite happy to sit in the DRS train and just kind of save the tyres and save that ERS.
Yeah, lap 13 down at 27, by the way. Internet currently holding, which is good. Legend leads the way. Sav in second, Ogween there in third, Tom in fourth, Asicom there in fifth, doing a fantastic job. I've got to say, these guys out on track. Top 5 have pulled away now from Ray, who is closing in on Asicom. Asicom, I don't think will be too displeased that his teammate is getting there. He is beginning to close in. The gap was 4.1 seconds. It's now 2.9. Dan streamatized into the pit lane, which is a shame because he went for another spin once again, and he was spinning around and he got out of the way of the drivers out on track. Legend leading from Sav in second, Ogween in third. Evan Dalton's still there in the chat. He is probably going to look at me and think, James, just stop. James, just stop, and I will stop. As it comes on the back of Tom, 4th and 5th position. But Legend still on the lead of the race. We should see the pit stop begin very soon. As soon as I say that, Sav is into the pit. So Sav in from 2nd position, the PSR man into the pit lane. And that's forced Legend potentially to go maybe a lap or two longer in terms of his strategy, which means he's going to be a lap or two fresher tyres. I think Sav has missed a trick there. I think it's a little bit too early from the PSR perspective for him to come in the pits.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because he might have just forced everyone else's hand a little bit though. Now maybe Legend will feel slightly obliged to pit this lap, and then everyone will be pitting a lap or two earlier than they want. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the other guys do kind of respond to it, do take the bait, you could see. And if not, we'll be interested to see if this undercut is a big deal. The medium compound tyres do go on for Sav, and he's got a pretty fresh air as well. He's using all that ERS he's been saving up, and he will try and make the most of this undercut.
Choco is raging at the PSR perspective. PSR man, of course, is Choco, and he's like, crispy as cooked. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. And that, I think, might just come back to haunt him later on in this race if that strategy call was wrong. However, Sav, he will have the undercut on. It will be a very good undercut, but you can tell by Legend, he is going to floor it into the pit lane here. 1.4 seconds now ahead of Ogween, now beginning to pull away. And the fact that he's actually gained time over Sav is going to set him in good stead. Here comes Legend into the pit lane. Ogween follows in. Tom stays out. Asicom is into the pit lane as well. So all three out of the top four are in. Still staying out of course is Ray. Wiener's picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane in behind as well. Smokey's in, Zinity in, Rick is in. I might not know anything about the league racing strategies around here, but what I do know is McCabe Sam is on the back of Jam in towards turn number 1. McCabe Sam looks towards the inside line on Jam, and it's easy actually from the VSR man. Really, really good stuff there from McCabe Sam. He's into 5th. Legend though is ahead just about, I think, of Sav. They're going to be side by side nearly coming out of the pit lane. Could have been Hamilton, Verstappen, S. And it could still be Hamilton, Verstappen, S, because Sav is right on the back here of Legend. And in the end, what do we know about commentary? Because Sav on the back of Legend is side by side coming through the cover grande. He needs to get ahead, ideally, of Legend here. Legend has forced him all the way to the inside line. Nearly gets speared off towards the wall there. If they weren't careful, tries to switch back at the century. Round the outside of the Delaware chicane. Tries to get the job done. Now they're side by side in towards Lesbo 1. This would be a phenomenal move if Sav can pull this on. Legend not giving half an inch of room. Brilliant stuff by Sav. Crispy as Kukin in terms of his strategy. So is Sav out on track. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Only a lap fresher tyres. That's what a lap of fresher tyres get you. Legend, though, has not used up any ERS and all of that. So come back to bite him. He's so quick down the straight as well. Try to get the job done. But Sav's doing, he's into 7th. And that was just absolutely class.
Yeah, fantastic racing from both of them. It was hard, but definitely fair and brilliant from Sav. Made the most of those tyres being a little bit more up to temperature, but I do not think that is the end of that battle. I think Legend will be looking to try and get his revenge, you could say, once those tyres are up to speed, up to temperature, which they probably will be now. He'll be looking to go again, and by the looks of things, he may be going right now once again. He's got that ERS use, he's got the DRS on it, there's a car coming out the pit lane as well. There you have it, he's got 3 wide here between the two. He just about threads a needle up into what's a net P1. That was pretty close, but Legend up into P3.
It was Tom, the one coming out of the pit lane, and he's been absolutely swallowed up by Asicum and Ogween. Ogween and Asicum are now ahead of Tom. That has not worked out from the Shizuman's perspective whatsoever there. He's there down in 7th position. McCabe, Sam and Jam still lead the way. Jam and Sam having their own private battle out in front, but Legend is now ahead of Sav. He had to try and go for the move. As I was saying, literally 30 seconds ago, coming through Ascari, he has so much speed down the straight. That is what the Talent Factory car makes up for in terms of the cornering. Sav is better through the corners. Legend is better down the straight. They even out each other over the course of a lap. It's going to be a brilliant battle to watch on for on lap 16 out of 27 here, but McCabe Sam out on top, Jam there in 2nd, Legend there in 3rd. Do not rule Asicum out of this race either. Ogween involved in this battle as well. He's there in 5th. The Team Valor man doing a fantastic job. Team Valor desperately need points there at the bottom end of the standings. Asicum, though, for the home advantage, is going to try and make the Italian outfit now get onto the top step of the podium. There in 6th, he's now coming at Ogween, coming out through the final corner at Parabolica, and all hell is about to break loose potentially once again. On them towards turn 1, Jam is into the brake lane, and here comes Asicum on the back of Ogween. Ogween might have to be forced to the defensive line in towards turn 1. Asicum tries to hang it all the way around the outside through the Rettifilio, and he gets caught in the rear left tyre and spins the car around. Not involved in contact whatsoever. Ogween gave him as much room as he got given. Asicum, I think it was just front right on rear left. But look, he's coming back at him once again, and he goes the inside line, and they nearly ghosted inside of each other in towards the Delamonte chicane. But that is how you turn a negative into a positive. Brilliant stuff by Asicum. Ogween in the end, service there by Asicum. Asicum through and he's into 4th, now a net P3, and that is how you turn a negative into a positive.
Fantastic update from Asicum. It was really close at turn 1 and then the contact. I nearly thought he was round, but he managed to just hold it again and he kept his composure and went it again and got him into turn 4. It's fantastic stuff there. Just need to make sure he didn't lose too much time, and he done that actually. 7/10 is the gap between himself and Sav up ahead, so he's still within that DRS at the top 2. So yeah, smoothly done there from Asicum, and sights can now be set on Sav for 2nd place.
Yeah, smooth as silk, I've got to be honest there from Asicum. He's into that net P3. McCabe Sam still continuing on. He's going to clearly go, I think, for a set of soft compound tyres towards the end of the race. Maybe if there's a safety car late on, that will not look like a bad strategy whatsoever. He'll drop, I think, halfway down the field if that is the case. Smokey, by the way, still smoking through the field. He's on the back of Wiener this time on the run up towards turn number 1 at the Rettifilio chicane. 250 mile an hour on the braking zone in towards turn number 1, and that is easy as you like from the PSR man. PSR man, to be fair, has done a fantastic job gaining 10 positions off the race start up into 9. Once McCabe Sam comes in the pit lane, there'll be 8th position. Smokey doing a fantastic job. It's a bit of a stretch, I think, for him to get him onto the podium as you predicted, or as we both predicted, I think, Callum. But Legend and Sav currently out on top. Asicum there in 3rd, and Asicum all of a sudden is outside of a 2nd for the first time. Just needs to use up a bit of ERS here to get back within, and he's outside of DRS. So that is now going to split the pack of the front 5 basically out on track completely in 2.
Yeah, that's a big one for this race. Maybe just not got the pace anymore, does Asicum. I think these top 2 certainly definitely have the pace. They're absolutely flying out there at the moment. Sav's done a good job at hanging on. I think actually when you look at it, Sav's done to 30% ERS, so he's certainly using a Legend is more than stretching his legs now. So it's starting to show as Asicum. He's nearly got within that DRS, but I think unfortunately for him, he is just going to miss out. So yeah, this top 5 will truly be split in half.
Yeah, definitely so indeed. And McCabe Sam, though, leading from Legend there in 2nd. Sav there in 3rd. Arch on the back of Rick is looking interesting as well, potentially further down the field. The Afro man, who I did say for pole position would be in P3, in the end was knocked out in Q1, which has come to show A, I'm absolutely useless at predictions, and B, Arch is doing a good job in the race, and he's making up for it in the race as well. They're down in 13th position. He could be in that McCabe Sam battle towards the back end of the race as well. But lap 19 out of 27. Pray above pray, 7.5 laps to go, that we are going to get a stream towards the end of the race as well. But Legend there in second, Sav there in third, doing a fantastic job there as well. And Ali saying in the chat, if Tom's overcut worked, yeah, if Tom's overcut did work, it would have been brilliant. However, though, he has been saving a lot more ERS compared to the guys in front. Normally that is done by lifting and coasting, going into the braking zone of corners, as demonstrated, not here, but as demonstrated, I'm sure, on the other part of the lap. Tom, though, 43% of ERS. He's got 20% more than Ogween. So Tom, not looking too bad at all, but he just needs to draw a little bit closer, I think, to be involved.
Certainly does. I'm just wondering, well, McCabe Sam, obviously in the league, still yet to pit, but I'm wondering kind of what the plan is here for Sam. I'm not sure if he's waiting for maybe a safety car to come out, or if he's just there to cause a little bit of chaos, or if he's going to pit for shot. Honestly, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to hope it's the chaos one. I think that'd be an interesting one to commentate over his teammate down in P15, so maybe he's going to try and do him a favour and try and get him into the points. But yeah, it's interesting stuff from McCabe Sam nonetheless.
Yeah, Tom, by the way, if you're wondering what my grunting was in the background, that was Tom looking towards the inside on of Ogween, who I thought was going to get the job done. In the end, he didn't. Move done, by the way, further down the field. I think it was Arch on Zinity, if I'm not mistaken, and that is why, because Zinity has left the session, and that is not good. I hope he's not on Virgin Media, because that might just be a sign of things to come for me. But McCabe Sam leading the way, and yeah, he could be there to cause a bit of chaos. I think I totally agree with you. I think on that respect, the VSR man doing a fantastic job. Legend there in second. Jamie Johnson in the chat. Legend is crazy quick, and OP Wright is catching the front train as well. 2.3 seconds. They are gonna catch potentially a little bit of a roadblock, maybe in McCabe Sam, if McCabe Sam decides to stay out there and cause all sorts of chaos. I have a feeling what he is going to do is not come in the pit lane now, I don't think. Yeah, he's going to stay out at least one more lap. What I think will happen is, once they get within a second, he'll come into the pit lane, and then Legend's got a tiny bit of slipstream, and that can work, of course, in TF's favour compared to PSR's favour.
Certainly could. So interesting to see. Maybe there's a safety car. Maybe that's what he's sitting out for. I think he was probably honest with himself when he realised he's not going to get points if he just kept going the way he was. So maybe just wait, maybe see if he can try and get a safety car, try and cause a bit of chaos that might get him that safety car. That might just be the plan for him. As unfortunately, he's went into the pit lane, so that's going to be his race over, unfortunately, for NRX. But yeah, back to Sam. I think it might just be a bit of a kind of hoping scenario. Hope for a safety car. I just hope for something to try and fall his way.
Yeah, Zenity, by the way, rejoined the session. He has left the session once again, so his internet is clearly not playing ball, which is more than could be said for mine a little bit earlier on, but it is still fine. Up 21 out of 27. At least Italy, Monza here was a very quick track. We are getting through this race quite briskly as well, with no safety cars of ESC. It's McCabe Sam from Legend and Sav. Cow there in the chat saying, what is Sav battery? 59% of battery that Sav has got. Legend, 82%. So Legend is out-trumping him. Top trumping, quite literally. Sav there in third. Asicum there in fourth. And Asicum's got 40% for a little bit of retrospect there as well. Matthew Kettle, by the way, in the chat as well. Mr. NOX Levi, I believe he is. Okay, Sam, clearly watched my amazing performance in WOR last Friday. About to give us a good race. And yes, he is. 2.9 seconds in front of Legend. The way the gaps are coming, Legend and Sav at this stage are going to be catching him in around 2 or 3 laps time. So until then, McCabe Sam has got freedom out in front. He is going to cause all sorts of carnage, I think, within this final few laps of the race, especially the final 3 laps, I think.
Absolutely, I think it's good stuff from him. Anyway, it will be good entertainment. And yeah, he might not be on the Christmas card list of Legend anytime soon, though.
It is NOX Rusty, not NOX Levi, by the way, for Matthew Kettle. Terrible. You can tell I am not an Xbox Burst commentator, you can tell. But yeah, it was one of the NOX boys, and I had to just go with the one I could remember.
That's fair enough. We'll let you off for this occasion. So that is Sam.
Okay, Sam in the wall. Oh, and the Legend's forced off. Legend's gone wide. It's a safety car, and Sam takes the lead. Oh my word! Legend forcing to say hadn't taken avoiding action from the car speared in the middle. That was McCabe Sam who had spun coming through a scar. He must have caught on the inside curb. Legends had to take avoiding action, go off in the gravel. Safety car comes out literally 2 seconds after Sav overtakes Legend for the race lead. There is a pit stop, I think, or there was a pit stop, I thought. It was Ray, I thought, coming in the pit lane, but he isn't. From McCabe Sam out of the race. That goes the cause for carnage. Safety car potentially. My word. Sav out on top. Legend in second. Asicum in third. Safety car on lap 23 out of 27. And this now opens the field completely up.
McCabe Sam was going to bring chaos. I didn't think it was going to come in that way, but yeah, interesting stuff nonetheless. And yeah, I just went into the wall and I thought, oh, then I didn't realise he came spearing back on the track. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, Lujan having to just take avoiding action, as rightfully so, and yeah, he will not be happy with that one. But Sav, it's an early Christmas gift here in April already. He'll be happy with that one. He's now in the lead of the race. We'll have maybe 3-4 laps of racing. And this is Sav to lose now. He's got to use all that race. He can defend for his life, but it will not be easy. Legion will be coming at him, all guns blazing, and we should have an absolute cracking end to this race now.
Yeah, definitely. So, looking through the comments as well, Neil saying amazing reaction from Legend. He could have easily binned it off into the gravel and binned it into the wall on the right-hand side. Phenomenal reaction timings there from Legend. Literally millisecond sort of reaction from his perspective. Oh my word! Ogwe nearly goes for a spin on the grass there in the background of shot. Coming in towards Ascari. Team Valor, don't know what your man is thinking, just tell him to calm down a little bit because it nearly got me on the edge of my seat here in the commentary box. Ogween there in fourth on the back. Everyone has now got the full ERS. Count there in the chat, pitting unless you're at the back is useless. I think pitting at the back, even though you're at the back, is useless regardless because Arch there in 12th. Are you, I'm going to ask you this, Callum, are you really going to see Arch P1 by the end of this race from, what, P12 out on track? With 4 laps to go in this race, it's frankly impossible.
Yeah, it is. I think it's worth a shot sometimes, but I think it could be really tough enough to P11 out. Someone else is pitting, but yeah, it's just not going to really work that way. I don't think it's going to be a huge advantage. I think he obviously will be quicker on those soft compound tyres, but yeah, I think it will be a tall order for Arch. But yeah, I think certainly some strong points could be possible for the Red Bull man.
Yeah, it could be indeed as well. Donald Trump's charges, by the way, has just been released to the public, so I'm going to listen to that in a little bit. Savad on top from Legend in second. Asicum there in third. Wiener was the one he referenced there coming into the pit lane as well. And he's there in 15th. And I've got to say, he has thrown a potential good point-scoring finish for Juventus completely away there.
Yeah, I think it is certainly a possibility. But yeah, you never know, time will tell. We could have some pretty chaotic last couple of laps, but yeah, certainly I understand that point of view. It's not always ideal on a track like this, but you know what, you never know. Because I think this could be getting pretty hairy now. We've got a lot of guys that are going to be determined to get a good result. We can see the end in sight. We're going to maybe have 3-4 laps left of racing, and I think it could be 3-4 laps left of him. Yeah, a little bit of chaos.
BSR Jack saying in the chat, who's Trump? I'm not even going to say, you know who he is. You know who he is. We are going to get the safety car, maybe in this lap, in fact. Zinati's the one catching right onto the back of the safety car train. There are normally late safety car comes in. The late safety car come in, I should say, here in Monza. Once Zinati gets within about 2 seconds, which I think he's desperately trying to stay outside of, so he can force the safety car in for another lap. And he's just about done that, I think. But Sam, oh no, the safety car's in this lap. Whatever he's done, it hasn't worked. And Zinati at the back of the field has to now rejoin the back of the safety car queue. But now, with 3 laps to go, DRS on the final lap of the race, only down in towards the Cova del Serraglio and Ascari. That is the only bit of DRS we're going to have. South now gets us back underway here in Legacy Division onto lap 25 and a 27, and Legend is right thereabouts on the run up towards turn 1. Looks towards the inside line, nearly pushed up on towards the right, onto the white line there, coming in towards turn 1 at the rest of the chicane. Sav holds the outside line, Legend falls to the inside line. There's contact that could come spearing on in front of the guys behind. Ogwin and Asa coming side by side as well. Legend and Sav, literally no hung, drawn, quarter apart, whatever I'm going to say there. Legend though and Sav is still side by side, coming through cover. Grande now coming in towards the Delaware chicane, and Legend is the one that's ahead. Sav there in second. Smart play from Sav. Lets Legend go. Legend now leads the way from Sav there in second. Great restart from him, but Sav has got the cornering speed compared to Legend. Arch dropping down the field as well behind Tudi. He's got caught up, I think, in an instant, maybe with slight right side end plate damage there in 12th. But Legend leads, Sav in second, Asicum there in third. 2.5 laps to go, Callum, and we are in for a wild one as Zenity is spun coming through as Lesbo 2.
We're going for the battle for P4, going down the inside of Scary, needs to get shove the rest off there, and that's not anything for Ogwyn there, as Magician as well, try to go for the move, it's a little bit chaotic, he's still have 3 wide on next off of Scary there, I think that is Rain P5, he's making the most of the scenario, Ogwyn in P6, we've got Magician in P7 as well, he's just having to sit home and watch, but wow, that was chaotic there, and Shazoo Tom, he doesn't care now, he's off, and the Sunset up into P4.
He is indeed, and Ray, by the way, literally, reaction times like a lion there. Coming on the outside, getting 2 of them on the exit of Ascari. Fantastic racing from the OP man. He's doing his into fifth. He's involved in this battle as well. Smokey is side by side, and they're 3 wide and towards turn number 1. In behind Rick Kean. 2D there side by side, and 2D's the one got caught up, and he's gone for spin as well. And that is what tries to happen as Zinity is retired into the pit lane. That's what tries to happen when you go 3 wide and towards turn number 1 here at Monza. It does simply not work, as Wiener is on the back of Jam as well. And look at where the soft runners are. I was exactly right in terms of this. Oh my word, as Jam looks the inside line, he contacts the back end of Arch. Arch is then spinning. Wiener and 2D in the end, they're all getting caught on each other, they're inside of each other, in fact, for 12th and 13th. So kids, if you're watching, look away. Legend leads the way. Sav there in second, Asacom there in third. Sav is there or thereabouts, 3.5 tenths of a second. He isn't quicker than Legend down the straight, so he's got to react in terms of the tire, in terms of the corners. I think he's got to try and eye up a move, coming out of Les Mill 2, on the run down to Curva del Serradio, and then again, potentially in towards Parabolica. Those are his only 2 chances.
Yeah, I think I do agree with that one there, but he's just not close enough, as he just looks like Legend's just kind of got the edge on him a little bit at the moment. Sav's giving it his all, but so is Legend. I think maybe Legend just a step ahead today, I think, as well. Asacom as well on the back of Sav. I think Sav might have to be looking another way, as DRX will be enabled for the final time, for the final lap of this race, but I don't think it's going to be very possible for Sav to get this win. I think he might just be having to look in his mirrors.
Yeah, Asacom on the back of Sav. Wall's looking quite close in towards turn 1. Not as close as Smokey is on the back of Magician. Further down the field, 7th and 8th position. Literally said about the soft runners, if they don't get caught up in incidents, they can't make their way through the field. Literally impossible. And that is exactly right. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th for everyone that pitted on a set of soft compounder tyres. But Legend there. Now, under pressure from Sav once again, with only 3/4 of the lap to go as they come through Les Mills 1 of the final time in this race. Legend, 4 tenths of a second. Sav made a slight mistake coming out the Delarod chicane, and therefore Legend now begins to apply the pressure down the straight. He's got more EOS than Sav. This is game over, I think, than PSO man, unless Legend makes a mistake. This looks like Talent Factory are going to be getting back to winning ways. Maybe in controversial circumstances, Sav certainly forcing Legend off towards track there, coming in towards turn number 1. But Legend, what you can say, has been the quickest man compared to Sav, and Asacom all of a sudden is coming at Sav in towards Parabolica, and this is not over and done with yet for second as Sav goes deep in towards Parabolica. Asacom will get the up and under. He has a huge snap of oversteer. That is it, and Tom now could get third, potentially. Legend though onto the line, wins in Italy from Sav in second. Asacom hangs on to third, but the barest of skin teeth. Tom there in fourth, Ray there in fifth. Fantastic race here in Monza, but Legend, the man, the master here in Italy, as Arch sets the fastest lap of the race. Legend out on top, 9 tenths to go over Sav in the end. Very close battle between them both, well respected, well forced, and Legend in the end quicker than Sav over 1 lap pace, and that is what got him the win.
That was what I finished so as well, and it was good reason all through, but I think it is a well-deserved win for Legend in the end. I think the pace was certainly in his favour, and you could just see it on the restart as well. He caught Sav naff as much as Sav was the man who was kind of at the start of the restart. He just managed to get on top of him already, got him moving at turn 1, he never really looked back from there. He made the most of the 3 laps left, and yeah, a great win for Talent Factory and Legend.
Yeah, definitely fantastic racing. Oh my word. How can you describe that Monza race? Oh my word, I do not know. But Legend, whatever the case, takes the race win. Sav there in second, absolutely drove his heart out on his sleeve. The real soul PSR man, they had to carry him on his shoulders basically here tonight, and he's done them proud. Sav there in second, did a fantastic job. But in the end, it is Legend out on top. And it might just be one of the first times I think we've seen a PlayStation man on top of the Xbox, guys. And look at that top 5. Isn't it glorious for the PS boys? Legend out on top. From Sav there in second, Asacom there in third, Tom there in fourth, Ray there in fifth, Ogween in sixth, Magician there in seventh, Smokey, by the way, 19th up to 8th, deserves a lot of credit for his overtaking. Rick there in 9th, Kian there in 10th. Francesco, a bit of an underdog performance there in 11th, but 2D there in 12th. Arch there in 13th. The soft runners just could not get through. They got caught to each other, in fact, at the end. With Jam in 14, Wiener in 15, Zenity didn't finish the race, and then retiring at the end of the race as well were, of course, Cape Sam, Elite Risks, and Dan Spreen right down at the back end of the field. And my oh my, Callum, what a race here in Legacy Division. It is Legend who comes out on top over Sav, and Talent Factory get their stranglehold back on the team's championship.
Yeah, certainly. But you know what, for PSI, it's not all doom and gloom with Sav coming home. A very respectable P2, and Smokey, considering he started at the back of the grid, I think P8, I think I'm right in saying, isn't a bad result either. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom for PSR either. So yeah, it certainly was a big night in the championship, and certainly a big night in terms of the action as well. Some great racing from start to finish, some very well respectful racing, but hard racing as well. And yeah, it was certainly a great watch.
Yeah, it was certainly a great watch indeed. Fantastic to watch the racing. Really hope you did enjoy that. If you did, of course, like, comment, subscribe. Take that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. Do you want to check and see if the guys want to come in for interviews for the top 3?
I will try and see that. Yeah, I'll do that now.
Fantastic stuff. Well, we can run through the calendar while we do that, of course, and we do have racing next week, of course, in China, which is a pretty decent circuit on this game, to be honest. China, round 10, of course, not on the F1 calendar due to contractual disputes and obviously the COVID pandemic in recent years as well. But it is here for the Legacy Division calendar, round 10 of the championship. It's also a sprint race, the second and final sprint race of the season. And China, Callum, a track where racing normally comes alive in the second half of the race. However, these guys probably will come alive over the 28 laps race distance.
Yeah, it certainly will do. China's always a pretty good one, and it's not always on the league racing calendar, especially in the last kind of year or two, because it was took out the real life F1 calendar. But yeah, certainly it will be a good one next week, and yeah, I can't wait to be there for that one as well.
Yeah, it is going to be really, really good indeed. Jota hopefully should be back next week. I'm praying that he should be back next week. I should have a better internet next week as well. And apologies about any connection issues. We got to the end, though. We got to the end. I was literally in two minds whether I wanted to do the stream or not because of the internet. In the end, I had to risk it. It only crashed, what, twice, 3 times maybe? But there we are. It is all part and parcel of technology, all part and parcel as well of racing. And congratulations, as I say, to Legend on that race win. We are going to see if the top 3 what are going to be coming in for interviews. Looking through as well, PSR Wick Racing, 3 wins, 3 races. No PSR Wick Racing, 0 wins, 1 race. Interesting statistic there from PSR Nick.
Very, very interesting. I don't think any of the top 3 are joining us, which is yeah, quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it is a shame. They might have not seen the interview. I mean, to be honest, we did run a little bit late, and we are behind schedule, I think, from Legacy Division tonight as well. But what we can say with absolute regards is what we're going to look forward to in terms of the racing in China. And then, of course, it is break week, I believe, for the transfer window. And then we are back, according to this calendar anyways, on the 25th of April. Then we switch, of course, to Fridays, and the update to the calendar, that is the wrong calendar that I've got up there on my screen and showing you there on the chat. I will run you through what the calendar is currently looking like at this stage when I find the message regarding it. There we are. So currently it's China, then it's a break week for the transfer window, then it's a break week at the minute for challengers. Then we have the switch to Friday. So the switch to Friday will come for Bahrain, which will be on the 5th of May. So a week later, pretty much, than what we've got there on the calendar. Abu Dhabi on the 12th, Brazil on the 19th of May, and then Saudi Arabia on the 26th of May. I can't wait for Saudi Arabia for the final race of the season. Hopefully you can't either. We are in China, though, next week, and it is going to be a fascinating night's worth of action. And I really hope you did enjoy the stream. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. Check out our sponsors, of course, Next Level Racing and indeed Grid Finder. All of their info is in the description below. All of the links is there as well, along with the Williams Esports Lounge, who you will see the advert for at the end of this live stream. Big thank you, Mr. Callum G, for filling in very, very late notes. I've got to be honest, absolutely delighted. First commentary we've done together. Hopefully it's not the last either, and it will be really good to see you once again next week, and hopefully you guys at home next week as well for China. So until then, I have been James Head. He has been Callum G. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.